welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Ultimate After Show episode 10, where I'm doing a recap on The Ultimate Fighter season 25. This says episode 10. There's two fights, one between Jesse Taylor and Hyder Hassan, and the other fight between James Krause and Ramsey Nijem. So first off, there wasn't a whole lot of backstory or anything. It was basically just the fights. They did show the coaches kind of going at it a little bit, which I thought was kind of, they were jawing at each other during the weigh-ins for Jesse Taylor and Hyder Hassan. I thought it was kind of disrespectful to those fighters. You know, they're cutting weight. It's their time. You know, they're weighing in. They're focused. You know, you're there for them. You know, you're there to get them on the scale, get them weighed in, get them rehydrated afterwards. And the coaches, it just kind of didn't seem to even realize they were even weighing in. They were just talking shit back and forth a little bit. Even the assistant coaches kind of got in on it, which, hey man, you know, shit gets heated or whatever, but you know, you got to understand that those dudes are weighing in and you're kind of there for them. Especially Jesse Taylor, man. Let me tell you, this guy looks sucked in, man. He looked like death warmed over. You know, I think he's fought in the past at like 185, so, you know, getting down to 170 is probably pretty tough for him. He didn't look too good. What he did look good is in the fight. You know, he matched up with Hyder Hassan, who's mainly a striker. And if you watch Jesse Taylor, within the first, I think it was 2 seconds, he's not disguising his game plan, man. He went straight in for the takedown, and then within the first 15 seconds, he already went for 3 or 4 takedowns, and then he was finally, you know, successful with getting Hyder to the ground. You can even see through the records. You know, Jesse's had so many more fights than Hyder. Hyder's like 9-3, and Jesse has over 30 wins. The experience is heavily in Jesse's favor, and just years of wrestling, man. Wrestling's such a great base for MMA. He just took Hyder down and just, you know, chain wrestling, just was all over him, didn't let him have any space. You know, had the rear naked in a few times, and Hyder fought it off pretty well. But then, you know, Jesse was just too much, man. He didn't give any space. He kept heavy on top, or when he was on his back, you know, he was relentless, and he choked Hyder out, you know, fairly quickly in the first round. So good win for Jesse. He's on to the semifinals, you know. Next fight we had up was James Krause versus Ramsey Nijem. I knew this was going to be a really good fight. I knew it was going to go 3 rounds because there was plenty of time left in the episode when I was watching. I had a feeling, though, because these guys are well matched up. So the first round, you know, Ramsey seemed to come in a little wild. You know, he was throwing some winging punches, and he just seemed to bull rush towards Krause, you know. And Krause then, you know, got the quick, easy takedown, I should say. And he was, you know, kind of smothering on Ramsey. But Ramsey managed to work his way back up. And Krause landed some really good knees, you know. And I think that rocked Ramsey a few times. But Ramsey had his flurries, you know, where he caught Krause a couple times, but the very end of the first round, Krause landed a nice spinning back fist. So I think the first round definitely went to James Krause. You know, in the second round, it was kind of reverse. Ramsey stayed a little bit more composed this round, set up some, you know, set his shots up a little better. With setting his shots up, he, you know, setting his punches up, he was able to take James Krause down and kind of control him, and you know, so he definitely, I think, won the second round because you know, he controlled him a little bit more on the ground, and he got off the better shots, I think, in the second round. In the third round, these two dudes came in to the middle, and you could tell they were both dead tired. And but then they started swinging, man. They went for it, and they were banging. Ramsey went for a takedown and got Cross down pretty easily, but Cross belly down and got back up, and then Ramsey went for another takedown and kind of just fell to his knees. You could tell he was so exhausted, and Cross just transitioned to his back and kind of took his back and then easily just pushed Ramsey over, and Ramsey just kind of gave up his, and laid down. And, Cross just kind of rode he did some damage on top, but he kind of rode the round out. And, he did some damage. He just controlled position, really. But then, at the end, Ramsey got up somehow with, just under a minute left. And, man, he was throwing some bombs, and he was connecting pretty well with James Krause. Through the third round, I was thinking Krause is going to win this round. He's going to win just from, control and stuff, and he's going to win the fight. But that last minute, man, the flurries that Ramsey threw, and he connected a few times, and I think he even got a late takedown. I thought maybe the judge's eyes, maybe he pulled out the third round. I really did. This was one of the fights of the whole season where I really didn't know who won. I suspected Krause was going to win, but then Ramsey, man, with that late pushback, But at the end of the 3 rounds, Krause won judge's decision. I think that was probably right. I think Krause won the third round. So good win for James Krause. He's on to the semifinals. And at the very end, Dana White came in and talked to the two coaches, TJ and Cody, and asked them who they thought should be matched up for the semifinals. And I actually like how TJ figured they should seed it, like the 1 versus the 4 and 2 versus the 3. And I thought that those matchups would have been the best. But Dana took a little bit different route, and he went 1-2. Which is Krause versus Jesse Taylor, and then Diego Lima versus Tom Galicchio. So those are some good fights, If I had to choose, I honestly think Jesse's gonna win versus Krause. I know Krause's stand-up's way better, but seeing how Ramsey took him down, and I know Jesse is way better of a wrestler. I think Jesse's going to find a way to get back to the finals where he was meant to be last time before he got kicked off the show. So I would pick Jesse Taylor in that fight. And in the next fight, Diego Lima versus Tom Galicchio, I would lean Diego because, man, he's got some really good striking. He's a tough guy. But there's something about Tom, man. This dude is determined. And he's definitely, if it goes to the ground, Tom can choke you out. So, I don't know, man. This one's a tough fight, If it stays standing, obviously I think Lima could piece him up. But there's something about Tom. I think I'm going to pick Tom. I think there's something about momentum. I think there's something about will. And I think there's something about Tom's determination. I really believe that he feels like this is his, and it's hard to stop that, man. So I'm gonna ride that train, man. I'm going. My picks for the final will be Jesse Taylor versus Tom Galicchio, man. Either way, whoever makes it, I'm sure it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be at the TUF finale in Vegas, July 7th. Your boy's gonna be there, so keep watching. Hopefully, I'll get some good footage and stuff like that. But before that, I'll be going to Oklahoma City, UFC Oklahoma City, Fight Night 112. Go Johnny Hendricks. So that's this weekend. That's this coming Sunday. I'll be there. Hopefully, I'll get some good footage. So keep tuned to my channel. And once again, like, comment, subscribe, share. I appreciate everybody that watches. And until next time, thanks for watching.